discovering a 4,000-year-old handprint in ancient Egypt. Imagine touching an object and being instantly transported back 4,000 years, connecting with the very person who crafted it. This is the magic of a recent discovery at Cambridge University's Fitzwilliam Museum, where researchers uncovered a 4,000-year-old handprint on an ancient Egyptian artifact. This isn't just any artifact. It's a soul house, a clay model designed to provide a dwelling for the soul in the afterlife. And this is the part most people miss. These soul houses were not just symbolic. They had a practical purpose too. They featured an open space at the front where food offerings like bread, lettuce, or even an ox's head could be placed, ensuring the deceased had sustenance in the afterlife. The discovery happened while researchers were preparing for an upcoming exhibition set to open this fall. The Soul House, dating back to around 2055 to 1650 BCE, underwent thorough examinations that revealed intricate details about its creation. The potter, whose name is lost to time, first constructed a framework of wooden sticks for the two-story building. This framework was then coated with clay, and during the firing process, the wood burned away, leaving behind a sturdy clay structure. But here's where it gets fascinating. The handprint was found underneath the soul house. It was likely formed when the potter moved the model while the clay was still damp, before it was fired in a kiln. This discovery is incredibly rare and exciting. Helen Strudwick, the senior Egyptologist at the museum and curator of the exhibition, explained, "We've spotted traces of fingerprints left in wet varnish or on a coffin in the decoration. But it is rare and exciting to find a complete handprint underneath this soul house." She added, "This was left by the maker who touched it before the clay dried. I have never seen such a complete handprint on an Egyptian object before." This handprint is more than just a mark. It's a direct link to the past, a moment frozen in time that connects us to the artisan who crafted this object. Strudwick emphasized, "Things like this take you directly to the moment when the object was made and to the person who made it, which is the focus of our exhibition." Pottery was a staple in ancient Egyptian culture, used for both functional and decorative purposes. It was common for pottery containing food and drink to be included in burials. While we know a lot about famous rulers like Tutankhamun, the stories of the artisans who created these objects are often overlooked. The ready availability of clay and the low value of pottery likely influenced the social status of potters. The Soul House will be on display at the Cambridge Museum as part of the Made in Ancient Egypt exhibition, which aims to shed light on the stories of these artisans. The exhibition opens on October 3rd. But here's a thought-provoking question. How might our understanding of ancient civilizations change if we focused more on the everyday lives of artisans and less on the grandeur of rulers? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Could this shift in perspective reveal new insights into the past? 4,000-year-old handprint found on ancient Egyptian artifact. Fitzwilliam Museum discovery. A remarkable discovery. A 4,000-year-old handprint found on an ancient Egyptian artifact. In an astonishing revelation, British researchers have uncovered a rare handprint on an artifact that dates back 4,000 years, as announced by a museum in Cambridge on Monday. This ancient imprint was discovered by conservators at the museum on the base of an Egyptian soul house, which is essentially a clay offering tray designed in the shape of a building. These soul houses were likely utilized in tombs to present food offerings or to serve as a dwelling for the souls of the deceased. This extraordinary find came to light during the examination of the artifact, which was crafted between 2055 and 1650 BCE, as part of preparations for an upcoming exhibition. But here's where it gets intriguing. Helen Strudwick, the senior curator and an Egyptologist at the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, expressed her excitement, stating, I have never seen such a complete handprint on an Egyptian object before. The handprint was imprinted by the artisan who created the soul house, likely when they lifted it prior to the drying and firing process of the clay. Strudwick elaborated on the emotional connection this discovery fosters, saying, "When you see something like this, you feel very close to the person who left their mark on an object." She described the moment to AFP as an exciting moment, noting that the print clearly shows all the fingers and even the heel of the hand. This rare artifact will be showcased in the museum's Made in Ancient Egypt exhibition, which is set to open on October 3rd. The exhibition aims to highlight the artisans behind various Egyptian artifacts, including jewelry, ceramics, and sculptures. Understanding the methods used to create these ancient objects is crucial for their preservation, according to Strudwick. Since 2014, the museum in southeast England has been delving into the creation processes of these artifacts. Yet there remains a significant gap in knowledge regarding the potters of ancient Egypt. Pottery was often regarded as a low-value craft, which may have resulted in Egyptian potters being assigned a lower social status compared to other artisans. Strudwick remarked, "We can't really say anything about the identity of the person from the handprint. It is quite small, about the same size as my own hand." She speculated that if the handprint belonged to a man, it might indicate that he was younger, or perhaps a less experienced worker in the workshop was responsible for moving the items to dry. And this is the part most people miss. Strudwick pointed out that the history of Egyptian craftspeople has often been neglected by researchers. However, with the advent of new research techniques, we are gradually uncovering more about their lives, work, and how they wish to be remembered throughout history. The exhibition will also feature a significant loan of antiquities from the Louvre Museum in France, marking the most substantial collection of its kind to visit the UK in nearly 2 decades. What are your thoughts on the significance of such discoveries? Do you believe that the contributions of ancient artisans deserve more recognition in historical narratives? Share your opinions in the comments. Unveiling history. 4,000-year-old handprint found in ancient Egyptian tomb. A remarkable discovery has been made. A handprint dating back 4,000 years has been uncovered on an ancient Egyptian tomb, offering an extraordinary connection to humanity from a time long past. This significant find was located on the base of a clay soul house, a miniature structure commonly used in burial practices by researchers at the Fitzwilliam Museum at Cambridge University. This exciting revelation is part of their upcoming exhibition titled Made in Ancient Egypt, which is set to open on October 3rd, 2025. Soul houses, typically designed to resemble buildings with open courtyards, were often placed in tombs to hold food offerings such as bread, lettuce, and even ox heads. These structures served dual purposes. They acted as symbolic trays for offerings and as resting places for the souls of the deceased. The soul house in question, which dates back to approximately 2055 to 1650 BCE, underwent thorough examinations at the museum, providing new insights into its construction methods from 4,000 years ago. The potter responsible for this piece first created a framework using wooden sticks, which was then coated with clay to form a 2-story building supported by pillars. The staircases were ingeniously crafted by pinching the wet clay. When fired, the wooden framework burned away, leaving behind empty spaces that added to the structure's design. The handprint discovered beneath the soul house is believed to have been made when the potter, or perhaps another individual, moved the house from the workshop to allow it to dry, before it was placed in the kiln for firing. While we have seen traces of fingerprints left in wet varnish or on coffins, finding a complete handprint beneath this soul house is both rare and thrilling. This print was left by the maker before the clay had a chance to dry. I have never encountered such a complete handprint on an Egyptian artifact before. You can almost envision the artisan lifting it to move it out of the workshop to dry before firing. This discovery transports us directly to the moment of creation and connects us with the individual who crafted it, which is the central theme of our exhibition, said a museum representative. The detail of the fingers from the maker's handprint on the underside of the Soul House, dating back to around 2055 to 1650 BCE, is a striking reminder of the human touch in ancient craftsmanship. Ceramics played a vital role in ancient Egyptian society, primarily serving functional purposes, but also occasionally being used for decorative items. The abundance of surviving pottery illustrates this point well. From the earliest periods, it was crucial to provide the deceased with nourishment, and pottery containing food and drink became a standard feature in burials across all age groups. Interestingly, unlike many other ancient Egyptian crafts, there is a scarcity of detailed records regarding potters at work, making the discovery of a complete handprint even more significant. The widespread availability and generally low value of pottery, combined with the nature of the material, may have influenced the social status of potters. Clay was a readily available resource, often deposited by the Nile as silt or found as shale, a stone located beneath or between layers of limestone in the desert. This shale was processed into a clay known as marl by soaking it in water and kneading it by hand or foot. While the lives and histories of Egyptian rulers have been extensively documented, the artisans who created these artifacts often remain in the shadows. The exhibition, Made in Ancient Egypt, aims to shed light on these individuals, exploring their self-perception and how they were viewed by their contemporaries. Illustrations from tombs featured in the exhibition will vividly depict the artisans at work. Written records, such as ostraca, reveal everyday activities like orders, receipts, and delivery notes, while unfinished objects showcase working methods that resonate with modern practices, including design alterations and corrections of mistakes. Made in Ancient Egypt will integrate these findings with scientific analyses to paint a vivid portrait of these workers as individuals, while monuments and records like stelae will reveal how they wish to be represented. The Soul House will be prominently displayed in the Fitzwilliam Museum's upcoming exhibition, Made in Ancient Egypt, which opens on October 3rd, showcasing for the first time how the people of ancient Egypt created the iconography that defined their civilization. Tickets to the